Hello, denizens. What an interesting place this YouTube is. As of this video, I've crossed both the 500th video threshold and reached 60,000 subscribers. What a different showbiz life this is, if you can call it showbiz, as compared to my old life with the Frantics. Perhaps the biggest change is that prior to digital, I had to carry around hundreds of videotapes of all the work I had been involved with. You people out there have no idea of the kind of storage a popular actor had to either have in their home or in an expensive storage facility. And if you were a writer like myself, there would be the additional burden of all those bankers' boxes filled with not just your final scripts, but all the drafts, because, you know, we writers can't let go of anything. Don't want to throw out that brilliant beaumont from draft 3 of a script that went through 20 revisions. No, sirree Bob, because you know you'll be reading all that old junk. This is just one of the many burdens those of us at the pinnacle of our show business careers had to deal with. I am the only one brave enough to lay bare the storage issues that comes with fame. Remember that. I don't want to make this a YouTuber discussion video because, you know what, no one cares. I think what describes this YouTube thing for me is that it's just a part of my personal journey. I've always been a performer and a nerd. I've always loved comedy and TV, and I loved stereos and building my own Heathkit receivers and my own speakers. But don't think that didn't come with dangerous complications. Back then, there were speaker gangs. Yes, one group was the ported bass reflex gang, and the other, the sealed enclosures gang. It was nasty. I was part of the bass reflex gang because we wanted sound that shook the neighborhood. Those tight-ass sealed boxes dickwads only played classical music. Of course, there were splinter gangs supporting ribbon tweeters and folded horns. They were nuts. At high school, I was a member of the AV club. If you wanted to attract women, being a member of the AV club was one notch below the euchre club. So no, not very helpful when it came to dating. The one good thing was that I was the only person in the school who could thread the 16mm Bell and Howell movie projector properly. You had to do the loops right or the film would break. So I was always called out of classes to go and load up a movie on, let's say, venereal diseases for Mrs. Avery's health class. So you see, I've always had that creative and technical yin and yang. And so, after decades of performing, building businesses, pitching TV ideas, about 6 years ago I thought I'd give YouTube a try, free from the network and studio gatekeepers and naysayers. The last thing I pitched was a sitcom called Wuthering Heights about 3 seniors who could no longer afford their $10,000 a month rent when they are approached by the head of admissions who offers free rent if they would kill off a senior on demand. So the head of admissions could pocket bribe money from the rich willing to pay to jump the queue. Each week, there would be a different, gruesome, funny celebrity death. Everyone loved it, but it was turned down in the end. That was it. I didn't want to pitch anymore. So I turned to this, YouTube. I didn't do this for the money, but in all honesty, money and subscribers are 2 metrics on YouTube that provide feedback that your channel is moving in the right direction. Your comments are much needed pats on the back. And thank you. Your comments are generally wonderful. I appreciate them because I'm a very needy person. YouTube is the closest thing to performing live because the feedback to the videos are very fast. Suddenly, you're checking that stupid app on your phone every few minutes to see how the analytics are doing and which viewing number out of 10 you're now ranked at. 1 out of 10, by the way, is the best. 10 out of 10, you take 5 Midols and hide in a darkened room for several hours. YT Studio is addicting. It's really awful. Still, I like the fact that I can have an idea, write it, shoot it, and publish it, and I'm done. Completing the circle, as it were. When you're trying to get a movie or a TV show like the one I described off the ground, it can take years if you're successful. In that regard, YouTube has made me lazy. I don't have to take a meeting. I don't have to figure out a 25-word pitch. I don't have to talk to someone who hasn't started shaving yet. 500 videos. The thing is, I have to keep going because that's how I justified to my wife why I bought all this camera lighting and sound gear. And honestly, what would I do with all this stuff if I stopped? And if I stopped, then what will you all do? I know you'd miss me terribly if I ended this. And so I'll keep doing this nonsense for you because you are my denizens. BC.